Two of them stay in the house together for the night, and they get to know one another. Bai comes to realize that Zaijin was traveling to the capital city to take the imperial exam to become an official. So Bai tries to make friends with Zaijin, saying he will accompany him along the way to the city, and they can take the exam together. However, Zaijin is still angry with him because he lost his donkey. Zaijin explains to Bai that the donkey belonged to his older brother Daoran, who went missing, and explains that his brother went to the city to take the exam a long time ago, but never came home and is now missing. Later that night, Bai has enough reason to believe he's the one with the white elixir, and is ready to kill Zaijin. However, right at that moment, the co-leader who was sent by the leader suddenly appeared, and warned him about the right way of obtaining the elixirs, which is to get the human to volunteer to give it up out of love or respect for you, and explains how instead of killing him, he needs to gain his friendship and loyalty. The co-leader told him he can start by finding his beloved donkey. The next day the donkey was found, and Bai pretends he found it. But in fact this is actually the co-leader who disguised himself as the donkey. After, Zaijin is relieved and full of happiness. So Bai asks him if they can travel together to the capital and take the exam together. Zaijin agrees, and they begin their journey. While traveling, they come across a strange town full of mist. Soon they realize that before the exam there is an academy that prepares you for it. When they arrive, the owner, who is a mysterious-looking man, invites them inside to stay at the guest house. There they see many others who are also taking the prep to prepare for the exam. Later that night, Saijin heard some noises and wakes up, and when he goes outside he sees a small frog. The small demon frog lured him out and was laying gold nuggets on the floor. Saijin follows the gold until he saw the guest house owner, who told him to look into the pond. But when he does, the owner immediately attacked him and turns his vision to make him see what the demon wants him to see. When he looks around, he sees many of the scholars who have been killed by the frog demon and knows he could be next. The giant frog starts to attack him with his tongue until he catches him and nearly consumed him. But luckily, Bai shows up just in time to save him. Even
Frog has been coming up to me recently. Kappas.
though Bai tries to save him, the frog demon is too strong, and they aren't a match for the giant toad. At this moment, Bai decides to sacrifice his life for his friend Zaijin, because one death is better than the two of them. After, a shocked Zaijin manages to escape, but we learn that the demon frog is actually a friend of Bai's, and they plan this all out to make Zaijin scared, so he will give his elixir to him voluntarily. They think the plan worked. However, Zaijin suddenly came back, and instead of giving up his elixir in exchange for Bai's life, he instead tries stopping the demon frog and attempts at saving Bai. When they see Zaijin heading back over, he told the owner to transform back into the giant frog, and Bai hides back inside and acts like he was really eaten by the toad. This time, Zaijin has a flaming torch and many bombs and threaten the demon frog. Zaijin explains how he will die with Bai if he doesn't spit him back out. Meanwhile, the frog tries to absorb him using a gasp of wind. But the frog demon ends up absorbing the torch and the bombs, causing a huge blast, and spits out Bai, who goes flying into the air. Bai is laying unconscious and almost transforms into his fox spirit form. But the co-leader arrives and knocked out Zaijin before he gets a closer look. After, the co-leader takes Zaijin on a boat while he's still unconscious, and they're also with the man who turned into the demon frog. He then blames Bai and the frog about their dumb plan in order to take Zaijin's elixir, and reminds Bai that the elixir inside Zaijin's body could end up being black, so what they are planning could all go wrong. The co-leader suggested Bai should take Zaijin to the capital city, where there is a girl who could reveal the color of Zaijin's elixir. Soon after, Zaijin awakes, and Bai thinks it's best to reveal his true identity, and reveals to Zaijin that he's actually a fox spirit. He tells him not to be afraid, and promises not to eat him. Saijin comes out and starts healing Bai's wounds. On their way there, Saijin tells stories about his brother and explains how he was growing up. So Bai promises to find him to arrive at the capital. When they arrive, there are a lot of beautiful women who are gathered there, and Saijin is greeted by a boy who directs him to an exclusive building, where apparently someone has been waiting for him for a long time. When he arrives, he's greeted by the demon frog, who has disguised himself as a girl, and they tell him his brother is on the second floor of the building waiting for him. He then enters a room where he meets a beautiful ghost named Lion, the one who's able to reveal the color of the elixir. Saijin is confused by the Lion is very hot, and he begins killing the ghost inside him, but he knows his limits and refuses to kiss him. lure him over and over again until the magic protection spell that the elder put on him attacked King Lion. She pretends to be okay, and because Zai Jin is a gentleman, he always turns his back to her. But each time he does this, the spell is visible to her eyes, causing her to be thrown across the room. King Lion starts crying because she's failing to get close to him. But Zai Jin thinks she's crying because she thinks that he doesn't love her. However, Zai Jin has already fallen in love with Ying, and states that when he finishes the exam, he will be destined to marry her. After he falls asleep, she examines his whole body, and when Bai returns, she informs him that she found nothing and couldn't reveal the color of his elixir. After, Ying Lion is tortured by the co-leader, who is mad that she didn't finish her mission. It turns out that her soul is kept inside the lotus, and the master has full control over it. The next morning, Bai and Zai Jin arrive at the city where the ultimate examination will take place. However, he is nervous as only a few of them will be chosen to pass the exam. Later, before the exam starts, he asks people about his brother Deoran as a feat. Later at night, all the candidates start registering themselves for the exam. However, they are all searched thoroughly to make sure no one is cheating. The following day, all the candidates enter the exam room and prepare themselves. The exam begins and it goes on until midnight, and suddenly a man who is doing the exam claims he sees ghosts and distracts other examiners, so they bring him out of the class. Moments later, the ghosting lion appears, and this time pulls Bai's soul out of his body. She tells him that there is an evil ghost lurking in the room.
I'm sorry, that was funny. She snatched him out the body.
Distracts other examiners, so they bring him out of the class. Moments later, the ghosting lion appears, and this time pulls Bai's soul out of his body. She tells him that there is an evil ghost lurking in the room who will capture a bunch of students' souls, including Zai Jin's. She explains to Bai that this will be the perfect time to kill Zai Jin and obtain his elixir, and in exchange for helping Bai, he will return the favor and steal the lotus from the co-leader and set her free. Bai agrees with the plan, and the evil ghost takes Zai Jin's soul from his body. Ying Lion explains to Bai that he must kill Zai Jin while his soul is free from his body, so the quality of the elixir won't be affected. When Zai Jin looks around, he finally meets his brother Daoran. But when he tries to talk to him, it turns out that his brother Daoran is the evil ghost. He tries to attack Zai Jin, but Bai sees this and can't help but to save his best friend, and quickly runs over to save him, even though this was the perfect opportunity to kill him and obtain the white elixir so he can become an immortal. But he still doesn't do it. After, Zai Jin's brother casts a spell trapping both of them inside the walls made of letters. Then we see a black hole which absorbs Zai Jin, and the Wuxi device tells Bai that he should let him go, to make sure he finishes the objective, which is to let Zai Jin die to get the white elixir and turn into an immortal nine-tailed fox. However, Bai considers Zai Jin his only friend, so he decides to jump in the black hole to help Zai Jin. While in the black hole, Zai Jin's soul is almost destroyed by his older brother's spell, while Bai is being attacked by other candidates who were trapped in the letters. While Bai's soul is being overthrown by all the other ghosts, the Wuxi device tells him that the only way to solve this situation is to get Zai Jin's brother to remember his past. Wuxi tells him she can help with this and saves Bai, and also makes Doran remember who he really is. But this costs Wuxi to lose her life. After, it turns out that Zai Jin's brother was a student of the academy and wanted to pass the exam his whole life. He tries to do the exam every season but continuously fails until one day he died in the exam room full of anger. This is why he takes everyone's souls if they pass the exam. After Wuxi dies, he wakes up and finally realizes who he is, and is no longer an evil ghost. He is now a good ghost, and just before their souls return back to their bodies, he warns his brother Zai Jin about what he heard the Wuxi say to Bai, about obtaining his elixir. At this moment, Bai and Zai Jin's souls return back to their bodies. While eating, Zai Jin forces Bai to be honest with him, and his true intentions to why he followed him all this way, and he asks Bai what an elixir is. After, Zai Jin is willing to give him his elixir as a gift for saving his life many times during their journey together. But he said he will only do this if he can help him free the beautiful ghost Ying Lion, as he wants to marry her. Later on, Zai Jin is wearing a wedding outfit and proposes to Ying, but she refuses and warns him that she is a ghost and a tree demon. However, Zai Jin still insists that he wants to marry her, which makes her flattered. She then betrays all the foxes and takes Zai Jin. But Bai was waiting for them at the other side of the bridge. Ying has good intentions and is trying to save Zai Jin from Bai. However, Zai Jin doesn't seem to want to be saved, as he keeps protecting the fox spirits from Ying. Unfortunately, the frog demon stabs Ying in the back. The dying Ying brings Zai Jin with her and runs away. However, it's already too late to save her. Before disappearing, she expresses her gratitude towards the innocent scholar. Saijin's heart is now broken as she was the only thing that mattered to him. While she fades away, Bai arrives there and Saijin blames him for her death, saying he's a liar about everything. He then tells Bai to kill him and take the elixir from his body. After seeing Zaijin hurt like this, Bai apologizes to him for everything and decides to sacrifice himself, and we see his body disappear into the water. After, Bai is now teleported back to the fox spirit realm, and it is revealed to him that the tribe co-leader of the old foxes was observing him this whole time to prevent him from doing something he wasn't supposed to do. And to make sure this didn't happen, he was using protection magic hidden inside Zaijin's body. The fox leader reveals to Bai that the kid who saved him 500 years ago was Zaijin in a previous life. And the white elixir is not the thing which occurs every 1,000 years, and it was an excuse for what really occurs every 1,000 years, which is a unique sacrifice for each other's lives between a fox spirit and a human who both love each other, which is what happened to Zaijin and Bai. He explains that he was always destined to obtain the white elixir from Zaijin because of the teardrop Bai left on Zaijin's hand is in fact the elixir, and the leader knew that Bai would end up sacrificing himself for Zaijin as a fox spirit in the human world. We then cut to Zaijin after Bai had disappeared, and he's now searching everywhere for Bai, because he wants to say sorry for not believing in their friendship and his true intentions. He keeps walking until he arrives in the bamboo forest, and there he sees Bai. After seeing Bai, Zaijin says his apology and wishes for Bai to have his elixir, as he knows it's the only way Bai can stay as a fox spirit because he's a half-breed and it will lead to him becoming immortal. So he sacrifices himself so Bai can have the elixir. But right after, another Bai arrives, and it turns out that the Bai we just saw with Zijin was actually the co-leader. The co-leader tells Bai that the elixir inside Zaijin is not white but black, so it is useless. In addition to this, he was told by the leader to watch over Bai to steal the white elixir once he took it from Zaijin, and use it for himself. And as a result, all of his efforts are useless, because the co-leader deceived Zaijin and killed him. Bai gets full of anger and starts to fight the co-leader. Because of his anger, he uses his fox powers, and it seems like he's overpowering the co-leader, but suddenly, the co-leader transforms into the six-tailed fox and starts to get his revenge on Bai, and Bai is no match for the six-tailed fox. And to finish him off, he uses one of the tails to stab him, causing him to stay lying on the ground. Before Bai dies, he touches Zaijin's elixir, which made him have flashbacks of everything they went through in their journey together, and immediately this changed the color of the elixir from black to white. And a beam of light shines down from the sky and went inside Bai's body, turning him into the immortal nine-tailed fox. Now Bai has the godlike powers and attacks the co-leader's six-tailed fox. While fighting, the co-leader now has trouble against Bai as he is too strong, and he has no chance against the nine-tailed immortal spirit, as Bai is now the first-class fox. Bai continues to fight with the co-leader, even ripping off one of his tails, bringing him down to a five-tailed fox. At the end, he almost killed the co-leader, but he remembers everything Zaijin told him, that he would be the best among the immortal foxes and a good one. He knew Zaijin would want him to do the right thing, so he decides to let him go. After that, we see Bai reveal the nine tails and soon fades away. We then see Zaijin back in the bamboo forest, who has woken up, but doesn't have any memory about Bai or anything that just happened. He then goes back to his hometown to live with his grandma, and his grandmother asked him why didn't become an official after passing the imperial exam. So he told her that it's his wish to stay here and take care of his grandmother, especially now his brother is gone. And that's what will make him happy. After that, his grandma said that ever since he came back he doesn't look happy, to which Zaijin replies, saying that ever since he got back it feels like he lost something. A few days later, Zaijin is searching to find some herbs, but there he came across an injured fox who happens to be Bai back in his original form. The movie then cuts to a scene with Bai in the forest, right after the fight with the co-leader, and it turns out that he was deeply sad to see Zaijin lose his life. So he sacrificed his immortality as a first-class fox spirit and gave it all up so that Zaijin could live again. The wish was granted and the thunder struck him, removing him from the spirit realm, and Zaijin was resurrected but with no memories of what happened. Zijin named the fox Zhao Bai and he came to heal him, and they eat together and the story ends. Thanks for watching.
Immortals and humans can get along, and demons can change. So that's it. It's been a long ass video. But needless to say, it was a good one. Whew, all that fucking craziness, bro. That shit makes my head swim. Talk Tasha K in that I just really love. You know what I mean? At the end of it all, when the healing takes place and it happens, that's what is the most awesome thing that can happen. Go back and look at my previous videos. I talk about a lot about my experiences and things that I did to heal and to move on, and you just I gotta be patient with me. And thank you guys for my new subscribers. Thank you. I appreciate you guys so much. 5555 on the clock when I say that. Major changes are happening, and I'm glad. It's sad that some people are passing on, but they are stronger in spirit, of course, and they help us, reveal these truths of what is really going on, and protecting us. They have a greater purpose as well when we all transform from this realm. It's when you're not growing and not healing and not changing is when you get taken, possibly really taken out, or have to stay here long suffering and then go to suffer some more after this lifetime. So the more we heal generational curses, the better we'll be off, and healing all of our addictions, financial, actual drugs, or any other thing, sex addiction, um, even knowing everything addiction. I had that problem. Trust me, I was actually changing a lot of things by exposing a lot. So I really had to stop for a minute because, yeah, I just had to stop for a minute. And God was like, didn't I tell you stop doing it? Oh, let me find something to do. Let me find something else to do. Maybe constructive or something else. It just gets so intriguing, being a part of the beginning of a really ancestral lineage. It is an honor. I'll tell you that much. It's baby spirit. Do 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 do, baby spirit. Do 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 do, baby spirit. Do 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 do, baby spirit. And that's just what it is. So, use these different movies and explaining the best way you can, and the best ways to heal. A lot of it, we can research, but when you get confused and frustrated, do your best to go within. Ask God, the highest white light in order. Ask that you be guided and be shown. And that's a lot of what I do. I ask God, God, what else can I change about me? What else can I heal about me? What else, what do I need to do for me? And really nobody taught me that. It wasn't until I started watching tarot that I want to cry. That I started learning how to really self-love and self-care. It, on a soul level. Because really, like counseling, there's nothing when it comes to God and these lessons that have to be learned and are learned. Whew, and how jealousy can be an ugly thing. It does the worst to us in some senses. I don't know in what ways sometimes how I have been jealous because a lot of times when I'm feeling that way, it's somebody else's energy. So, because I typically know that I can get things on my own, so I really just don't have a necessary need to be jealous about anything. So, you know, love y'all, love yourself, and always want and try your best to calm down and bring it down. And settle to a calmness, no matter how angry you are. It's easier said than done. It gets better with practice. Trust me, it does. But sometimes, those certain readers come just in time to help us snap us back. Be like, hey, hold on. Bring it back. Take a deep breath. Take a step back. Take the higher road. Come on now. I'm telling you. I love y'all. Be great. Like, share, and subscribe. And what I decided, what I'm going to do, and what I want to do is, I don't want to. I don't want to be unfair, and then I do want to be fair. But I want to do this, and I don't like going back on what I said I was going to do before. But this is what I have decided on doing is taking the first 50 subscribers and doing a drawing from that. And, I'll send you guys little packets and whatnot of some really like cleansing and healing self-love things for self-love care and self-love and self-healing of, everything that you want to heal. And of course, you watch my videos on how to start releasing those things and transmuting them very simply. And then you just start implementing those things, with whatever little package I put together or whatnot, what little trinket I put together, whatever it may be. Because I'm not sure, but I'm just getting stuff together right now. So we'll see. Talk to y'all later. And, don't give up. It's too easy to give up. Because it's like, shit, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. So, love yourself, show other people how to love themselves, and, give somebody encouragement that they need. Not just kind words, really get to know what their woundages are and help them to heal them. Give them some guidance on it because you can't make them heal, but help them to help themselves. This is teaching a man to fish. And this fish is, enlightenment of higher knowledge, of self-love, of what's within you. All right. Be great. It's enough rambling on of me and all of this going on here. All right. Talk to you later. Be great.